Hello everyone, MeNoHaxor here, bringing you guys a support Misfortune commentary. Now, Misfortune became a bit popular in the support position ever since Worlds when Rox Tigers used Misfortune as a counter to Zyra, and I think in solo queue a lot of people pick Misfortune but they don't really understand why she's a counter, and so I figured this would be a good commentary to do because I feel that many people are playing her incorrectly. And I can show you guys how I think she should be played and the kind of playstyle you want to adapt, because she's very different than most supports because she builds a lot of like armor pen and stuff, which is really not normal for a support. And so if you don't have that kind of mentality where you have a lot of damage and you want to be getting off spells in a fight and auto attacking and stuff, it's a little hard to play her. So she is a very different style than most supports, but I do think she is good in specific compositions, such as this one where I'm in a Ashe Misfortune lane against an Ezreal Zyra, which is a very good answer to that lane, because with Misfortune, what makes her really good against Zyra is that she can auto attack the plant, and if Ashe also auto attacks the plant and we both the same plant together, we kill the plant instantly. And no other support can do double damage to a plant because her passive of Love Tap, like you can see right there, pretty much almost kills the plant instantly, and that's why she's picked, because you kill the plants really fast and Zyra can't poke as much. So how this matchup works is that Zyra's going to be making a lot of plants like this. I stay back, auto to kill the plant, and then when I see a good opportunity to E, I use the E, and note whenever I cast E, I make sure I have Zyra in the center as much as possible so that she takes a bit longer to run because she gets slowed, and she takes as much damage as possible. You can see over time, my goal is just to try to trade with Zyra. Misfortune is one of the few people that can actually poke as well as Zyra, so it's really important that I try to poke as good as possible so that way we have lane pressure and we can come out on top. But right here, my Ashe makes a really big mistake and actually walks up, and this is really bad because if you notice right before, we still need this melee creep to die before we hit level 2 because you need 9 creeps to get level 2 in the bot lane. So they actually push for 2 first, which is kind of unfortunate because Ezreal does push a bit faster than Ashe. And because of that, they hit 2 and instantly go on Ashe. And now Ashe pretty much has to flash right now because she's going to die. And so I also was forced to exhaust because I wasn't sure if she was going to heal. And if it did not exhaust there, the Ashe was 100% dead. So in this situation, it was good that I saved the Ashe. But now it's pretty bad because Ashe is almost at no health. And we have to continue on with this lane. So now the pressure's really on me to try to apply more pressure because I can't let this Ashe miss out on too much farm. Especially since this is a lane matchup we should be outpoking in. But because of that deficit in that trading, we do have to play a bit more careful. So right now, I'm not even going to try to walk up. It's not worth it, not worth taking the poke. So we're just going to have to wave push in. This is the smart play because that way we can try to last it under tower, which shouldn't be too hard if I'm helping the Ashe get the last hits. I'm going to be looking at maxing E in lane, followed by W and then Q, because it doesn't make sense to put any points in the Q when you don't have a lot of attack damage early on. W is really nice for the movement speed and for the faster attack speed. So you can see right here under tower, you can see every time the tower is going to hit a range creep, I try to auto, so that way the Ashe can get in one more auto, but like right here I auto, and then here I try to auto to help her get the hit, but not enough damage. Also, note right there, I don't know if you caught this, but I'll rewind just in case you didn't. So since Zyra's passive spawns plants randomly, what you want to do all the time is that you want to walk over the plant to break the seed, because if you break the seed, that negates a lot of Zyra's damage early on. So you can see right now, Ashe walks over. I walk over one immediately because I know she's going to try to go for the root. Because of that, I place a trinket, shoot off an E, get off an auto, and I actually trade exactly evenly with her, which is nice. You see right now, that's really bad. I actually went a little bit too far forward. I think that Ezreal did the correct play of Eing in forward because he knew that my E was on cooldown at the time. So because it didn't have E, there isn't really any threat for me to scare him. So the E was definitely correct, and now I got super chunked and we had to use heal. So we did another really nice poke on Zyra, and now this is where the lane gets really sketchy, right? Because if you look, Zyra and I both don't have any more pots, but we have a little bit of mana and we want to try to poke each other out more. So we're both trying to be really cautious because I also don't have exhaust. Ashe doesn't have heal. So this Ezreal at any time could flash E, auto Q, and I die. And that's really, really scary. So we're just trying to be extremely conservative right now. Like, stay as far back away as possible. I'm always trying to make sure I stay behind my range creep so I don't get hit by a Q. And we really just need help right now because if the blue side plays his lane right, we'll be shoved in forever. And we can't back because we'll lose a ton of CS because of it. So we really just need a gank or something. Or we need to shove the lane really hard and then go back because we don't want to keep missing farm. So we call for help for the Jarvan. So the Jarvan is on his way, which is really nice, and this is what you should always do. If you're stuck in a really bad position and you're losing CS constantly, like getting shoved in your tower, call for your jungler immediately. So Jarvan's gonna hit this explosion plant to go over the wall, and then he's gonna start running up and try to go for the combo right here. So I'm ready to help the J4 just in case. He goes for the flash EQ, which I think is actually incorrect. I believe you can go for an EQ, and in the middle of the EQ, flash on top of the Zyra to get the knockout. So if he got the knockup, we probably would have been okay. But here, I do have to flash his W right here, otherwise he's gonna die. Because Ezreal went for the flash E, tried to go for the skill shot, like I talked about before, ended up dodging it, which made me live. And now we've successfully somewhat reset the lane, which is nice. So I go back, and now they're not gonna be aggressive anymore because they just saw the Jarvan. So they know that he's still in the area, so they're not gonna try to go for this Ashe. And this is the perfect time for me to go back because Ashe doesn't really need me. She can W to last hit, and they're not going to try to all-in the Ashe knowing I'm gone because the Jarvan is still there. So that's really good for us. So I go ahead, and I chop for a Frostfang. I get a refillable potion and a pink ward. I guess a control ward is what it's called now. Control wards are, in the early game at least, still functioning the same as a pink ward. You mostly just use it to clear vision and put them in bushes just like you normally would pinks. Nothing has really changed about it. But I saw this Ezreal is backing, right? So I'm going to try to just stop the Ezreal from recalling as much as possible. Just being really annoying. Just throwing him an E whenever he's about to finish it. You can see how frustrating this is, right? Like, I know he's going to try to recall over here now, so I start walking over. Now that Ezreal pretty much just gave up, right? Because what's also really good about Miss Fortune is that because she has such a long range on her E, she can stop the recall so easily. Like, I don't even have to get nowhere near tower range. And so this Ezreal is forced to stay. And that's actually really good. Against the Ezreal, you want to make sure that Ezreal does not back. You want to keep him in lane as long as possible, because this delays his tier, which means that his scaling is going to get worse, and it's going to take longer to complete Miramana, so his damage spike is not going to happen until much later. So, and Ashe doesn't really matter, right? She's okay with not getting a BF sword or anything like that, so as long as they keep the Ezreal here, we're still at an advantage, right? Zyra goes for the, I guess, safer build. She went for boots and ruby crystal with her 700 gold. I don't necessarily agree with that, just because she doesn't, like, this is better for building towards the items on your second buy, but my itemization is better for the lane presence immediately. And you can see that having a pot and having Frostfang is going to help out way more, because, and a pink ward, because now I'm just going for absolute lane dominance now. And because of that, I can start pressuring really hard. I get more gold income. I don't have to watch out for I can play safer on gangsters. I can put my control ward here at any point, but I choose not to place it because I know that there's no ward there, so there isn't really a point just yet. The Ashe wants to recall now because she saw the Ezreal backed off before. I think that's correct. She should go back, reshop, and go back to lane. So I believe I had about 500 gold. So went ahead, bought my ruby crystal, bought another control ward, because I predict that one of my control wards is probably gonna break. So since I had the extra money, might as well buy another one, right? So I'm gonna be 6 fairly soon. The Zyra is 6 and the Ezreal is 5. So in this situation, I believe we are still stronger because Ashe has the arrow. So because she has arrow, we can look to get kills because we just all focus our damage on one target and we should be able to burst them down. So she made some plants, and you can see that I outranged the plants, so they're pretty, because they're melee plants, so it's pretty easy for me to clear them. Just gonna keep poking once more. No real reason to try to have trade right now. Gonna be stepping over plants also whenever I can. And really just running around and being a huge nuisance. So here the Jarvan is back, so we are just waiting for the Jarvan to go in first. Or the Ashe to shoot an arrow first. So I believe Ashe is going to shoot arrow. Yeah, she shoots the arrow, lands on the Zyra, dies instantly. No issue. Now I'm going to keep going for the Ezreal here. Got the slow, got the auto, and I just hit 6, so I'm going to start my ult. Ashe goes for the W, then turns around because she thought that was going to be enough, but the Ezreal does heal, which is good. Jarvan's going to go it now, and I didn't realize this because, you know, it's so we can't communicate. So now, like, I realize Jarvan's pretty much about to die. He cancels his auto and doesn't get his Q off, which sucks. So I had to go in for the auto, and I flash out because I don't think I could have survived another tower shot. And once again, since we're not really communicating, the Ashe can't. I don't know if the Ashe is going to heal me, so I just had to flash just to make sure I don't die, which is okay. It's not that big of a deal. I think a 2-for-1 trade is good. We got some assists. Ashe gets more farm. She gets tower damage. Not a bad trade overall. We could have played that way more clean. If I knew the Jarvan was going to flash in, I would have just followed up with him, get off another auto, would have been easy. But anyways, now that I have more money, I went ahead and bought boots and a sightstone, which is good. I ran mid really quickly, put one of my control wards for mid since Annie was getting ganked a lot, so putting a control ward for your mid laner is really nice. Gives them a lot of security. Saw that Zyra was here, so I don't really want to go down this direction that soon. And I'm gonna go ahead and start putting some more sight zone wards down in the area. So I put one in this bush right here, this bush right here. This area is pretty much covered now, so I don't think the Annie should die anymore, which is quite nice. Now I'm gonna start walking back. I do see the plant here for getting the health regeneration is present, but I know that the Zyra is here because I saw her, like, if we rewind this, I saw her make the plants here, right? And I guess maybe I can turn off Fog of War to our side. Perfect. So I saw she was walking down here, right? And as I was clearing these wards, if she was going to go back to lane, she should have showed in lane by now, right? But she didn't. So I also saw that there is a plant here, which means that she did walk down this direction. So I know that she is in this area, but she's most likely in this bush. And I asked Ash to scout, and she does scout with the hawk shot, which is nice. So I'm just going to walk all the way around. Not even going to try to walk back in this way. I know the Vi is here. I see her. No real reason to go back in. Vi is very strong, so I don't want to mess with that. I don't want to mess with her, you know. So just gonna let Ashe clear out this wave before I do anything. It's good not to trade when your AD carry is trying to farm CS because they miss a lot of CS if you do end up trading like that. You can see once again go for another E and then immediately back off. You can see I did a pretty good chunk with Thunderlords, and Zyra missed her E, so I didn't get damaged at all. And that's kind of how you want to trade once you get to higher levels as Misfortune, because you can outspeed the travel time of the E if you're fast enough on Misfortune, which is quite good. So here, we kind of do a little bit of miscommunication, right? So Ashe arrows the Ezreal, but I E the Zyra, so that kind of sucks because it would have been more ideal for me to get the E damage on the Ezreal. I shoot my ult so that it barely hits the Ezreal on the top of the ult right here, and it also hits the Zyra in case she tries to walk up to the Ashe. So you can see she has to back out a little bit now because she doesn't want to get hit by the ult. She gets a really nice ult right in the center here, and it forces me to walk downward, but unfortunately I do get hit by the knockup. And you can see Ashe has to retreat a little bit. I'm trying to space myself once more. Like, I go for the exhaust here because I'm really scared of the Zyra going forward to kill the Ashe. I get off another Thunderlords, another Q proc, and now I see that the Ezreal went for the flash, so I immediately turn because I need to try to kill the Ezreal right now before the Ashe dies. Unfortunately, I get exhausted right here. With that exhaust, Ezreal lives at 4 health, so that exhaust was very well timed by the Zyra. I don't end up killing the Ezreal immediately, and because of that, my Ashe dies, which is really unfortunate. Now, the Zyra does flash here. I try to chase her, but I realize I can't do that anymore because there's plants. Can't keep walking up. So that was a 1-for-1 trade. Not the worst trade in the world. What's really good about this trade is that even though I believe Ezreal got the kill and I got the kill on Ezreal, what's really good about this is that the lane is pushing towards us, so we do get the freeze. And so my job right now is to just not recall, freeze a wave as much as possible. And you can see what I'm going to be doing is that I'm just going to be fitting out the wave as much as possible, and I can see now that the range creeps are alive. And because the range creeps are alive, they're going to be standing right outside the tower range, keep on doing more damage to our creep wave, and now Ashe is back, she can continue to freeze, and they're going to keep losing more CS. So that's really good that I kept the freeze going. Now, with my extra money, I went ahead, combined my Frostfang into Eye of the Watchers, and got a Boots of Swiftness. I personally like getting Eye of the Watchers really early because I enjoy having more vision, because that's the kind of style of support I like to play, regardless of what support champion I'm using. And Boots of Swiftness is really good in this Fortune because you don't really need mobility with her since you're already really fast. And with Swiftness and your passive, you can kite in teamfights really easily and while you're auto-attacking. So you don't really want mobility boots on this Fortune. You want Swiftness almost 100%. So once again, I'm going to try to get some more vision for us since it's all gone. I wish Jarvan stayed a little bit farther back while you put my control ward here, but that's okay. Just going to keep trying to get more vision. Nope, right here. When I put my ward down, I know that the bot lane is going to come up and try to stop me. So what I do is that I throw my E right here, and you should always use your E when you're putting down vision as Misfortune, because your E is such a long range, and it sees everything inside the circle. So if anyone's going to try to sneak up and try to kill you when you're de-warding, you'll see them, they'll get slowed, and then you can just back out immediately. So I know after the E stopped, I know I'm okay, but I can't quite see them because of the control ward, which kind of sucks. But now that I got the Ashe Scout, throw another E down, they're not going to come back in, so I'm going to go ahead and clear that ward and then immediately leave, which is nice. So that's generally how you want to de-ward as Misfortune, and you want to do that all the time. That's one of the best things about Misfortune support, and many people don't really do that. So now I go ahead and put another ward there just so we can see if Vi comes in. And now we're going to go into the process of kind of just poking him down, wearing down this tower really, because we do have the lane advantage now that we are a level up, and I just saw the Vi pass by here, so I'm just going to back out. I know my control ward is here, breaking this ward, but I can't really stop him. It's not really worth trying to fight 2v3, so I'm going to walk all the way around and put the ward down here. I know you can put the ward across, but it's kind of funky, and I'm really bad at it, and if you go over the wall here and place the ward, it's a lot more consistent. So that's why I like moving over the wall here and placing it, because I can do it instantly and always get a 100% chance, but over the wall it's kind of bad for me. Anyways, I do see the Vi is mid and the Zyra in mid also, so I'm going to try to help out my team. I see that Annie's trying to just go all in because she's pretty much dead. And I see there's a really good opportunity for Timur to ult right here, so I put the slow. So let's actually pause right here. So I put the slow field down here, and I ult this way. So what this does is that my E forces the Orianna and the Zyra to move downward into my ult, and then J4 goes in with a Cataclysm and traps the Ori inside my ult, which is really nice. So I do enough damage to kill the Ori, but Vi kind of just jumps at me and kills me with Thunderlord, so I couldn't really do much there. That was kind of the trade-off for dealing a bunch of damage and dealing a bunch of damage in this fight. Just kind of, yeah, just have to trade my life. That's how Misfortune support works. This Jarvan is a really cheeky play. Hits the explosion plant to go over the wall. So if I Qs over the wall, then J4 EQs back over the wall so that he can get out, which is really funny. That's actually a really good way to use explosion plants. So that's okay. I got 800 gold, so I went ahead and bought an Executioner's Calling. I built this item because I want to start working towards the Mortal's Reminder. That's a really good item, Misfortune, because your autos and your ult will apply the Grievous Wounds passive, which is very, very strong in general. Denying healing against this team isn't that strong. I guess it's good against Olaf and it denies Ezreal heal, but against other certain champions like Vladimir, Mundo, Soraka, super good. So it also built into, like, it lets me get Last Whisper later on for more armor, so getting Executioner Calling is pretty nice. I would say if I were to modify this and not get Executioner's Calling, it would have just gotten 2 longswords, because instead I'd probably build towards the Black Cleaver, because I think this game in particular, they don't really have a lot of armor right now. You can see that if you look at their items, there's only Ezreal has armor, so I don't really need armor that much, so I kind of realized that as soon as after I bought the Executioner's Calling, so it would have been nice to buy the longswords, but that's fine. I'm not going to complain. So once again, back to lane, autoing plants as soon as they spawn, killing more plants, no real issue. Let's see. I believe my ult is back up. Yes, it is. So we can look to fight once more. Ashe is getting a little bit poked, and I do send out the E. Ashe ult. Perfect. Ezreal E's in, and I just exhaust him and just start autoing attacking, trying to kill him. I now ult to zone out the Zyra so she gets away from the Ashe, and now I'm just going to keep autoing her. No real issue. She flashes. I go in for the flash also. So here, I actually hit the tower first and then hit the Zyra. So I know that sounds really dumb, but the reason why I did this is that whenever you switch targets, right, with Misfortune's passive, it resets your passive. So I know that if we rewind this and go back a little bit, so when the Zyra's under tower, right, like she flashes, and I also flash right here. So I know that I only have one chance to throw an auto off before I can't reach her anymore, right? Because my W's gonna go away from the tower hitting me, and we're already taking damage. So I know that I can only get one more auto, and then I can't chase her anymore, or else I'm gonna die to the tower. So basically, by hitting this tower first, it allows me to guarantee that my next auto that I land is gonna hit the Zyra. Because if I hit the Zyra first immediately, I'm pretty sure there wasn't a guaranteed chance I was gonna land the second auto. So I do get off the second auto right now. I get rooted, and then I do end up barely living. See, I like just barely live by. That was the last tower shot I could have taken, so I couldn't spend any more time under that tower. So that was a little sketchy. I think if there was a creep nearby, I would have hit the creep and then hit the Zyra. That would have been a bit better. But I mean, the tower was there, so I did it, and it ended up working out, which is quite good. Because now we end up getting the tower after this as well. And now the lane is pretty much guaranteed to go pretty well. So I'd say overall, in those exchanges, like you want to be autoing between like the Ezreal and the Zyra as much as possible. Like you want to keep your love tap passive up as much as possible. So alternating targets is always really good to spread out the damage instead of just continuously hitting one person. And like I said before, I wanted to build a Black Keeper, so I went ahead and got the Caulfield's Warhammer for more CDR. So we know that the Dragon Infernal is up. So my goal right now is to try to get vision for us. So I went ahead, put one ward inside here, one ward inside the pit to just see if they're doing it. And right now I'm just trying to attack the Scuttle so my team can start killing it. Because getting the Scuttle Crab is really good for vision. Jarvan also hits the Scrying, which is really nice because now I see that there is a ward here from that Scrying plant. So go ahead and kill that ward for free. Don't even have to use my sweeping lens or anything like that. That's really convenient. So once again, you can see that we got the Scuttle. That's really nice. So what I do right now is that I tell Ashe to go mid because they can't really start Dragon. Like Vi can sure like jump on one of us, but if she does jump, Jarvan and I are just gonna jump on them. So we're kind of just at this Mexican standoff, right? Where none of us really want to go in right now. We're kind of just waiting for the other to go in, and then we counter-engage, because their team is also good for counter-engaging. Like, they have Zyra Ori, so that's really strong once we go in. So tell Ashe to push mid, right? And because of her positioning, this forces blue team to make a choice, right? They either have to walk all the way around, back to mid if they want to defend a tower, or they have to just force a fight right now, because if they don't force a fight, they're going to lose mid tower for free. So essentially, in either situation, they're going to lose mid tower, so they have to force a fight right now to get Ashe to stop pushing mid. So because of that, Annie's like going to keep pressing up a little more. I immediately just turned straight to mid because I know that they're not good. They already conceded. Like the fact that they're not moving up in the last 5 seconds means that they're not going up, and Ezreal showed bot. So know that they're going to give up mid. They're most likely going to try to take bot tower. So we're just going to base race them, like just straight up. Jarvan, Ashe, Misfortune, we have the attack speed. I'm AD, so I actually do a fair amount of damage to towers, so we're just pushing, right? Annie's gonna go for the solo defense here, goes in on the Ezreal and kills him. Trades 1 for 1, and that's huge. Annie made the correct play in doing that because it kills their AD carry, so they don't have any more damage to kill this tower, and we're just gonna keep shoving. Like, we take the second tier tower. I shoot my E here just in case Orianna was coming because I did not see her bot. And now we take this tower, and now we're just gonna immediately rotate top because we can't really push to tier 3. That's very ambitious. And so tier 2 is already free because Heimerdinger is already pushing top. So now we're just going to move up top, start hitting this, and we get another tower. So that's huge. So just making that rotation play gave us so much gold and so much map pressure because now we also take their blue. So once again, the reason why we were able to do that was because I established Vision of the Dragon and we got the Scuttle Crab. So we know exactly where they are, and I should even switch to their vision just to see what they see. Yeah, they don't see anything. They have, like, only one ward inside Dragon and nothing outside here, which doesn't help them whatsoever. So that's why vision is really important. I think that's a really good illustration because we were able to make a macro play because of that. Oh yeah, Vi jumps me here. I don't know why she did that. I guess she thought I was alone, but my team was there to help me. Really nice by them. And now I end up living. I see the Orianna's here as well, so I'm actually just going to stay. Channel my ult because I saw that Ori was trapped inside the pit. She has to flash, otherwise she dies. That's quite good. And once again, you can see my positioning in this fight, right? I'm staying really far back because I know that I'm not that healthy. I have pot chugging, but it's important for me just to stay as far back as possible, throw out an E, maybe auto attack every now and then if I really want. And you can see I don't want to get knocked up in the air. I'm gonna try chasing the Orianna, but then I immediately turn to Dragon because once again we have the vision here. We just killed a few of them. I popped the scrying plant just to see if there's anyone coming this way, like mainly the Orianna or the Olaf, or if there's any wards, but no one's here. Free Dragon for us, pretty clean. So went ahead and finished my Black Cleaver. Now I'm going to go ahead and start working on the Mortal's Reminder, now that some people are building a little bit of armor. Like Ezreal finished his Iceborne, and Vi and Olaf are probably going to build armor after they finish their items. So I hit the scrying once again, just to see if there's any people or any wards in this area. My scrying actually didn't see this ward, so I should have aimed it a little bit more this direction, but that's okay, it's not that big of a deal. I do have my Oracle in, so I can go ahead and sweep the area. See the word, it's cool. So I went up here to check Baron first, and then I went down, so that way it's a lot easier for Ashe and I to kill wards together for a split second if I go up here, then down, instead of down, then up. So Ashe used the arrow for the Ori. Field golded, but that's okay, no biggie. And this Heimer, he's the bravest guy I've ever seen. I don't know why he just went in there, but he did. He was really asserting his dominance. Now, we are a little low, so tell my team to go back. There isn't really a point in fighting. And he's bot, so that's a lot of our magic damage gone. And Heimer got chunked, so might as well just play safe. No real reason to pick really bad fights, you know. So we do see Annie is trying to flank, and we know that they're somewhere in this area. So Jarvan's just going to go in on this guy, which I believe is the correct decision. Zyra tries to stop us with the ult, which is fine. And now, throw another E. And now, I do see the Ori here. So, what I do right here is that I shoot my ult right on top of the Ori. And the reason why I do this is because I know the Jarvan's going to kill the Vi. And it's kind of hard for me to aim my ult so that it barely hits the Vi and hits the Ori. I think my ult radius is only big enough to hit one of these two at this point, because I'm kind of close. Like, my positioning is not that great. So, I just make sure I use my ult so that Ori's pretty much smack in the middle if she tries to run this way to help the Vi, because I know my team can secure that kill. So I get a bit more damage on the Ori, and now I go up here to try to hit the Olaf because I know that my team's got the Orianna. I guess I can rewind that a little bit. So let's see exactly what happens. So use my ult. And I immediately go in the Olaf, I believe. Yeah, immediately go in the Olaf because she's just wrecking my Ashe. So just autoing him. I do a fair amount of damage with my autos, so that's always nice. And now I do see the Ezreal and Zyra's going down this way. So I try to put another E, scare them a little bit. Not really gonna try to go any further because we lost vision of them and it's only me and Jarvan, so I'm just gonna back off now. No biggie. And I'm also a very bad support player, so I'm just going to take all this bot farm because I'm very greedy. I might as well do that because no one's here, and I might as well just shove out the lane because there was a chance that they were going to recall, so it's nice to get a little bit of tower damage. Anyways, I got enough money for a last Whisper, so now I even have more damage and more armor pen. Quite nice. Gonna go ahead and sweep Baron again, just because I want to reestablish Baron vision. We do Baron relatively quickly, especially with the Heimerdinger, so I go ahead and place a couple wards down. In particular, I put this ward down here because I already have this entrance covered with someone's Scrying Warp that they placed, so it doesn't really make sense for me to put another ward here. So I put my ward here so I can cover this entrance leading up. And now we're just going to push mid. We saw that Olaf was top, right? So we're not even going to try to defend that. There's no point in doing that. The Olaf has to respond to us since we are stronger right now. So we go ahead and start taking down this tower. Throw out my E just to get more AoE damage with the creeps. Now we take this for free. Awesome. And now we still see the Olaf is top. So we're just thinking, well, why would we back out, right? Zyra's dead because of a pickoff from before. So there's only 3 people here to defend. 2 people. So we might as well just push, right? So we're going to go ahead and just start going in. Why not? Jarvan throws down his attack speed. Heimer makes his curve. We're just going to go ham on this tower. Now, Annie just kills the Ezreal. I ult just for good measure, but we end up using all our burst, which is kind of bad communication, because now we don't have any ult, so I put the slowdown on the Vi just to make sure we can all run away. No real issue. I also made sure before I left, I put one ward down right in this middle of the lane, because this is really nice, because that way it pretty much shows whatever direction they're going to after they clear the super minions mid. They can either walk up this way, so I know they're going to Baron. They can walk this way if they're going to go to Baron. They can walk this way if they're going to go bot. It's really nice just to see what the enemy team is doing after they clear these mid waves. Now I went ahead and finished my Immortals Reminder. I'm really strong now. Like, it's absurd that I have 5 kills as a support. Gonna go sweep again once more just in case. Nothing. So now I know that Baron is completely free, so I'm telling my team, like, guys, Baron is super free. You can just do it. No issue. I see that Olaf is top with Annie, so I'm gonna go ahead and run up and try to help the Annie. Now, I see that Olaf is just going in, so I just try to ult to save her, but she gets wrecked. She just got destroyed by Olaf, so I'm just gonna try to cut off the Olaf, make sure he doesn't die. And he's really low, so I'm just gonna start getting the slow off, throw some autos down, and this Olaf goes in. He just flashes on me. Like, I can't believe he just did that. And he actually got quite close to killing me. I think I didn't need to exhaust, but I was very scared because one more auto would have killed me. One axe auto was gonna kill me, and I knew he had his axe up, so I just did that just in case. Probably not necessary, kind of waste of a summoner, but Olaf ended up burning up his flash, so that's okay with me. Now, I do know they're at Dragon because there is a word here, so I'm just running down immediately. I see the Ori's doing the blue, so I just throw my Q, auto, and E, and I end up killing the blue, which is hilarious. And because I have movement speed, I do end up running just outside the Ori ult. So now I know Ori ult's down, so I'm telling my team, like, guys, go in. Super free. Put down a ward here just so we get vision of the fight. Throw down my E once again, and I back out because of the Zyra ult. And you can see that they pretty much wasted all their big cooldowns on me. So now my team is pretty much ready to just go ham. Like, they know there's no cooldowns. I shoot a blast plant to go for the wall, which is kind of funny. And now we just ping to go to Baron. I think there's no reason not to do Baron just because 3 of them are bot right now. Jungler's dead. I already cleared the vision before, so I know they don't have any warriors, so Ezreal can't really snipe it. So this is super free. No issue whatsoever. Yeah, and I think that fight was just showing how good Miss Fortune's movement speed is, because no one could hit anything on me because I was running so fast, so that's really nice. And yeah, this game is pretty much over now. We have Baron. We just have to go mid to close it out. I bought a chain vest here just because I wanted the GA. I just wanted to get tanky. But I think if I were playing seriously, I probably would have bought something like a ZZ Rot. Maybe one of the new support items. I haven't really tried the support items since new patch just kicked in, so I don't really know too much about the strength and weaknesses of it. Anyways, I see the Vi Zyra's here, so I'm just gonna help Heimer. Gonna run up. Gonna try to just go for the Vi because the Heimer went for the Zyra, and I know the Heimer can kill Zyra, so no point in me going for that also. Just gonna keep running, throwing down slow fields as much as possible. I try to ult the Vi, but she just jumps out, so no biggie. Oh, the Ashe ult. Okay, this time the Ashe ult connected. So that was pretty nice. So you can see now, just trying to clear the wave, get my team to come in. Keep throwing out more slows. Like, this slows just wrecked the Ori. She just could not walk out. Now I'm just going to start walking in. I see the Olaf is reload, so I'm just going to go finish him off with an auto. Might as well just kill him. And then now we can just push and finish out the game. But we have Baron buff. No real issue. Like, Annie just goes ham, kills the Ori. I'm just going to go on the Zyra. Don't even care if I use exhaust because the game is basically over. And that's pretty much it. So I'd say overall, this game was really good because Ashe Misfortune just really does well against the Zyra pick, because a lot of people pick Zyra to make sure that they win bot lane. But Misfortune does a really good job of neutralizing Zyra, and I think that she team fights equally as well as Zyra if you position correctly. So in that sense, I think Misfortune is a pretty good answer to Zyra if you do play the matchup correctly. And I wouldn't pick Misfortune in every situation. I think this is just a really good opportunity to play it. I think there's better ways to answer Zyra than just Misfortune. For example, I think Karma's a really good answer to Zyra. Janna and Nami are okay. But yeah, I think Misfortune's pretty fun though. If you play AD and you end up having to support, Misfortune's definitely not bad. She functions almost the same, like you auto. No real difference. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I know Alistar also got reworked, so I'm gonna try to get an Alistar video out, but my first impression of Alistar is that he's pretty bad, but I'll probably go on another video rant about it, because this is a Misfortune video, so I won't talk about it too much, but yeah, that's pretty much it for this commentary. Thanks for watching.